how to design gorgeous PDFs and lead magnets. Hey, do you want to create like really cool lead magnets in PDFs, but you're not a graphic designer and you're not that creative? Well, this is the video for you, because in this video I'm going to show you how to design gorgeous PDFs and lead magnets, and you don't have to have any skill to do it, and we're starting right now. Hey, I'm JR Fisher. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. If you need videos on how to make money online, this is the channel for you. And also, don't forget, ring the bell. There's a little bell next to that subscribe button there. You want to ring that bell, and you want to turn on all notifications so that you know every single time I do a video. Now, I've sold millions of dollars worth of physical and digital products online, and on this channel I share with you how to do it and how you can get results also. In addition to that, at the end of this video I'm giving away a $97 e-commerce course, but you can get it absolutely free. There's going to be a link in the description. Okay, now let's get to it. Let's figure out how to do those gorgeous lead magnets in PDFs. Okay, so we're going to design them, but here's the question of the day. Have you done it before? Have you tried to create these PDFs, these lead magnet things that you give out? What results did you get? Put your comments below. I want to hear what you're working on. Okay, so what is a lead magnet? I remember the first time I heard about a lead magnet, and it was in a group of people, and they were all talking about lead magnets and the different lead magnets, and I had no idea what they were talking about. I didn't want to embarrass myself by saying, what the heck's a lead magnet? So I just kept listening, figuring I would figure it out if they just kept talking. Now, in hindsight, instead of worrying about embarrassing myself, I should have just asked them, what the heck is that? And I would have saved myself a lot of time and hassle. So that you don't waste a lot of time trying to figure this stuff out, let me define exactly what a lead magnet is so we know right up front. Now, a lead magnet is really nothing more than a piece of information. Maybe it's a list, maybe it's a guide, and you offer that because it has value in exchange for somebody's contact information, like their name or phone number or email, something along those lines. The main reason you're going to have a lead magnet is so that you can kind of start a conversation with somebody. It's kind of like building a relationship, and you're going to give first so that they won't give up their email, so you can continue this conversation. Now, after they get the lead magnet, you may send them to a page with another offer on top of that. And here's what I mean. When you send them to this thank you page, or the page that they're going to get the lead magnet, at that point you can make them an offer. Now, maybe it's a lower cost offer, but you can kind of start the ball rolling because you've already given them something of value. Now it's time, maybe you could ask for a little bit of money for a small item. Now, a lead magnet is actually your first step in your marketing funnel. It can be a PDF, it could be a checklist, it could be a quiz, it could be a case study. Any of these tools that people actually have high value on, that is something that we use as a lead magnet, and it's the best way to start your marketing funnel with any individual. Now, let's say you have a software as a service type business. A great lead magnet could be something like a lower cost way of getting into that software. So maybe your software costs $97 a month, and your lead magnet is you can get a trial for only $1 for the first month, and then it can roll into the $97. Now, the important thing is that if you're charging $1, you've got that credit card now on file, so you can start charging that person the next month and the next month and the next month your normal rate. The $1 trial gives them an opportunity to actually see what your software is like, and if you're selling a good product, they're going to want to continue on, and they're going to want to keep that particular product. The only way to get them to try it maybe is to let them try it at a really low cost, like $1 or something like that. For an e-commerce business, it could be like maybe a coupon code. Maybe they give up their email and they get a coupon code, and it saves them money on their first sale. A gamified lead magnet is something like Wheelio, where there's a wheel that comes up on the screen and it spins, and they can spin it and get some type of discount or some type of extra value. Those work really well. Now, all of these really work well, but you're going to have to test to figure out what works for you. And that's one thing that I know a lot of e-commerce people, including myself, forget to do sometimes, is you have something that works and then you quit testing it. And you never really want to quit testing, because you can always improve on it. Now, if you don't know what to do, the simplest thing to do is look at your competitors. What are they doing in your niche? What are they doing to get business? What type of lead magnets are they offering to their customers? Another really simple strategy for a lead magnet is a blog post, where you actually just send them to your site to read one of the blogs you have on a particular subject they're interested in. So what you're trying to do is give them something that offers the readers a little extra value that they wouldn't normally get if they opt in for the particular lead magnet. Now I will tell you this, when you're doing your lead magnet, fewer is better. And what I mean by that is the less information you ask for, the better off you're going to be as far as getting more and more leads. Now what I mean by this is if you just ask for an email and name, you're going to get X number of people to sign up. If you ask for an email and name and phone number, you're going to get fewer people. If you ask for an email and name and phone number and their complete address, you're going to get fewer people. Now you may say, well, I just want to get as many as I possibly can, so I'm just going to always ask for an email and name. Now the downside to this is your list is not going to be as good, so it won't be as high quality as it would be if you asked for more information. So you kind of got to figure out that balance between how much information you want to ask and how many opt-ins you're actually getting. Now why even have a lead magnet? Well, the main reason to have a lead magnet is that 98% of the people that visit your site right now are not ready to buy, and since they're not ready to buy, giving them something of value actually gets them on your list, and you can now email them and market your products to them. It also shows them that you have something of value, and it kind of sets you up as an expert or somebody who's going to help them out. Now I will tell you this, respect their email. When you get somebody's email, don't just bombard them with offers. You got to give them real value. If you're giving them real value and you're sending them emails on subjects that they're interested in, on subjects that you can actually help them with, you're going to build that bond and that relationship so that when they are ready to buy, you're kind of top of mind, and when you do send an offer through one of your emails, they're more likely to actually buy that from you. Now this is kind of common sense, but this is really why you want to build your email list. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have an email list of 10,000 people and your conversion rate, your buy rate is 1%. Well, you're going to make 100 sales, and that's great. But imagine this. Imagine you have 50,000 people on your list, or imagine you have 100,000 or 1,000,000. You see what I'm saying here? The more people you have, the more sales you're going to make, the more profits you're going to have for your business. Now when you collect these emails, they've got to be stored somewhere. You got to have some place where you can access them. My recommendation is Kartra. Kartra is awesome, and Kartra is awesome because it is an email platform, and it does get emails in there, and it does store the emails, and it does tag the emails, but it does so many other things. It has memberships in there, it has help desk, it has sales pages, it has funnel builders. So if you're going to be starting your business and you're going to be building your email list, why not get a software that's going to do a lot of other things for you? You may not take advantage of all of these items right up front, but on down the road you're going to do it. You know, you're going to need this stuff, and if you don't have access to it, you're going to have to buy more and more softwares, try to integrate them. Now I do have a special offer on Kartra. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description there. If you go to that link, you can actually watch a video and you can see everything it does. You don't need a credit card, you don't have to opt in, you don't have to give up your email address. But if you like what you see, you can also get a discount on Kartra. You can actually try it out for $1, which I recommend you doing, because that way you can get into the software and kind of look around a little bit and see all the things it does. So I highly recommend Kartra if you're building your email list. So how do you actually create a effective PDF or lead magnet ebook or something like that? What you want to do is kind of think about the end in the beginning. In other words, you want to figure out what type of content you think somebody's going to be interested in, what type of content they're searching for, and that's what you want to do your lead magnet on. Okay, so whatever your lead magnet is, you got to make sure it actually helps your prospect, and it talks about things that would be related to your particular product. So if I was doing a lead magnet for a survival food company, which is Survival Cave Food, I would probably do a lead magnet that taught them how to protect their family, or taught them how to survive a storm, or what to do in the event of an earthquake, because we actually sell survival food. So if one of those events happen, they're going to need our product. So I want to have something that's really related, it's really going to help them out, and they're going to feel like, you know, we're the experts in that area, so we are the go-to place to buy that survival food. The first thing you want to think about is the headline. The headline needs to kind of be the hook of your particular PDF or your lead magnet, and it needs to actually talk about their pain point. So let's say it had to do with plumbing and you're a plumber. It could be, you know, choosing the right plumber so that you don't get ripped off, or it could be the top 10 frequently asked ask questions that could save you thousands of dollars on plumbing bills. Now when you're designing your PDF or your lead magnet, you want to use a large font, and that font should actually meld in with your website. It should look like your website. It should have the same feel, because if they're getting these lead magnets and they're getting these downloadables and it looks like your site, they're going to feel more comfortable when they actually go to your site and do business with you. So it has to really appeal to your target audience and what they expect. Now I could go on for days about this, about how long your PDF or your lead magnet should be, but it can be as little as a single page. It could just be a checklist. It could be up to 10 pages. But understand that the whole reason that somebody is actually getting a lead magnet from you is not to do a lot of reading. And a lot of people think, well, I'm going to do a lead magnet that has 50 or 100 pages. You won't do as well. People don't want that. They don't want to read. What they really want is the solution to their problem. Now somewhere in your ebook or your lead magnet, you need to get them to the next step. And this is something a lot of people forget. They hand out information, they go, well, at some point I guess they'll buy from me. You have to give them the opportunity to buy. So you could have in your lead magnet, for example, the plumbing scenario that I just said, the 10 things to look out for to save you money on plumbing bills. I may have in there, get a checkup for your house, for your furnace, for your hot water heater or whatever. Click here to get 90% off, or half price, or whatever it may be. But have them be able to take the next step after they've consumed your PDF. Now the next thing I would tell you is kind of use some credibility within your PDF or your lead magnet. And what I mean by that is if your business is certified, or you're a member of the Better Business Bureau, or whatever it is, you'll want to put that in there. If you've helped people earn money and you've done a great job at that, put that in there. If you've earned a lot of money online and you're trying to teach people how to do that, put that in there. And I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we've sold millions of dollars worth of digital and physical products online. So if you're watching this video, that's what you want to know how to do, and that's what I teach. So I also talk about what we've done already, because that way it gives us the credibility to tell you how to do it. Now you also want to put your value content in easy to consume type form. And what I mean by that is you don't want to have real small type. You want to have big bold type. You want to have bullet points in there. You may want to have a checklist in there, something along those lines. It helps to have some images along with it. It makes it a little bit palatable for the reader who's getting your information. So make it easy, make it, break it down into chunks of information, and make it simple for them to consume this content. Now make sure that that valuable content that you have in there actually supports the title. It's got to really give them the information you want. You don't want clickbaity type things. Also, don't forget to put your logo in there from your website, and you want to put that on every single page in the footer, so that at any point if they want to go to your website, they can click and go to the website and get more information, or better yet, buy your products. Now don't forget, I already mentioned this, but on the last page, have that call to action. Have something where they can take the next step, where they can get a discount, where they can get a free trial, where they can get a home checkup, whatever it is. Make sure you have something at the end of that PDF or end of that checklist, so that they can take the next step. That's super important. Now you can actually design this yourself, but as I said at the beginning, you don't need technical knowledge. You can go to a site and hire a designer and have them do all of this for you. All you have to do is go to your competitors first, download their lead magnets, their PDFs, find the ones you like, and give that as a sample. And within no time, probably a day, you'll have your own, and you can go ahead and start giving out your lead magnets and building your list. Now if you still want to do it on your own, you can certainly do that. You can use something like Photoshop, you can use Canva, you could use Keynote, Google Slides even has something along those lines that you could use. Now if you're expecting a high volume of downloads, this can actually slow down your site, and you don't want that to happen. So you'll want to use a service like Amazon S3. You can just look that up, Amazon S3, and what that does is you actually load the file there, and as they download it from your site, it actually grabs it from Amazon S3, and that way it doesn't slow down your site. Now here's a little tip, and I'm guilty of it, and I know other people that are guilty of it, is you do a lead magnet and then you don't update it. You leave it there for years and years and years, and you don't want to do that. Every year or two you want to kind of update all these lead magnets, and it's hard to do. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but it is something you should do, because times change, needs change, and as you know, what people want, well, that changes over time too. So you got to make sure that that lead magnet is actually current in time, because things do change, needs change, and your lead magnets need to change. Now, where do you put a lead magnet? Okay, so you've got this opportunity to get their name and email, and they're going to come to your site and they're going to have a spot where they can put in their name and email. But where? Is it at the top? Is it at the side? Is it the middle? Is it the bottom? Where do you do it? You can also use pop-ups. Pop-ups are great because they pop up and they can just put in their information. But I will tell you, you want to be careful when using pop-ups, because if you have that pop-up come up too soon once they've got to your site, it can kind of ruin the experience. I mean, they've gone there because they want to look at your site, they want to look at your business, and within 2 seconds, if there's a pop-up there, it kind of ruins the experience. So if you're using something like Kartra, which I highly recommend, you can actually adjust that pop-up. And here's what I mean by that. It can pop up based on what page they go to. Get this, it can be different pop-ups for different pages depending on where they're at. You can also set that pop-up to pop up after a certain period of time. So maybe you want to give them 30 seconds on the site or a minute on the site before the pop-up comes up. You can also do the pop-up based on their activities. So if they're on the page for, you know, a minute or two, and then they start to scroll and they scroll through 50% of it, you could have the pop-up come up when they scroll at 50%. So there's a lot of things you can do, and the best thing to do is really test these different things, test the different pop-ups, and then look at the amount of traffic that went through, and then you can decide which pop-up is going to be best for you. Now, if you also have a website outside of Kartra, I highly recommend you getting some type of pop-up software. You can search and find tons of plugins that you can use for pop-ups on WordPress. There's a lot of really good ones in there. I like Thrive. We use that one. It's a great one, but there's a lot of them out there. So all you gotta do is search, look at the ratings, and download the one that's going to best suit you. Now, I will tell you, since we do use Kartra, that pop-up is free. It just comes with the software. It's one of the extras we get with using that software. That's why I highly recommend it, because if you start patching together all these different softwares, you're going to end up spending a lot of money. Now, here's kind of a pro tip. What you want to do is test sending traffic to its own lead magnet page. And what I mean is, the only thing to do on that page is to opt in. Now, that opt-in, they get their information, they get whatever they want, and then you can send them to something else. Maybe you want them to sign up for a webinar. Maybe you want to offer them a product, something along those lines. But when you send them directly to a lead magnet page where the only choice is to download that lead magnet or opt in for that free training or whatever it is that you're using for lead magnet, you're going to see a lot higher conversion rates. Now, these lead magnets, really, they're a great opportunity to build your relationship with your community out there, and I highly recommend you putting some videos there. If you're on video and they get to know you, after a while, you know what, they're going to want to buy from you because they know you, they know the person behind the company, and that's so very important in today's market. Now, in summary, a lead magnet is really going to help you build your relationship with your audience, and that's the first part, because that's the number one thing you want to do. But the next thing it's going to help you do is build your list. Okay, my gosh, you want to have more and more customers, and the way to do that is to give value up front. Now, I want to focus 1 second on that value word there. Here's the deal with a lead magnet. It's got to be good. Okay, so don't give them something that's not good or not useful or doesn't solve their problems. It's super easy to do. Once again, I said you can just go out there, you can look at your competition, find the ones that you think are really good, give it to a designer, change it up a little bit, and make it your own. That's all you got to do. So simple enough. Now, question of the day is, have you done a lead magnet? Have you tried to do lead magnets? If so, put your comments below. If you're having a problem creating a lead magnet, maybe you have trouble with the idea of a lead magnet or what you should give away with your particular niche, put that comment below. I'll be happy to answer you on that. Now, as I promised, you can get my $97 free course. That's awesome, right? It's in the description below. All you have to do is click on the link. There's no credit card needed. You can grab it. You can start taking that course on e-commerce. I know it will help you out. Do me a favor, don't forget, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and don't forget, ring the bell, smash that bell right next to the subscribe button, and turn on all notifications. That will make you part of the VIP family, the Fisher family. And you want to do that because that way I can let you know every single time I do a new video. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.